Hello and welcome to this, our introduction to DEXON Systems. This is the first in a series of webinars relating to DEXON, and over the next webinars we will cover over the different product ranges that are in production today, the differences between them and the competition that is on the marketplace, and also the reasons why we believe DEXON is the right solution for you. So DEXON Systems have been making solutions for a number of years now. They are customized systems and are made specifically for each of your projects. Their ethos is always to provide the perfect and full solution for your project. All the hardware and software is developed in-house, ensuring that they can be up to the minute, make any adjustments that need to be done, and also support to a very high level with their pre and post-sale support. DEXON also do a large amount of market research in the industry and in the market space, be it a control room setup or a marketing, a video wall in the reception area or something like that. And they are constantly developing the product to meet those requirements. They also are always looking for information and feedback from our users, so any feedback is well received. And they always pride themselves in using only the highest quality components. At the end of the day, they, like yourselves, don't want to have any repeat phone calls for support issues, product failures, things like that. So they always ensure that the highest and top of the range chips and components are used in every single part of their system. So DEXON was formed back in 1990. The company was formed when the Russian government pulled out of control over in Budapest. They started producing the products and didn't actually physically supply and ship any wall controllers until 1996. So they spent quite a lot of time developing up to the first controller that was released. In 2000, they released their first Unix-based controller, and then in 2004, we saw the introduction of the Windows-based controller. From 2004 onwards, we've seen multi-generations of product released. Back in the day, we used to have the 100 series, which featured a very complicated loomed system where you connected your inputs on BNC connections, through to the 2010 when we saw the introduction of the DEXON 4000 series, and this brought together a culmination of additional add-ons which we'd been asking for some years, be it with direct connection of DVI connections, VGA connections, but more importantly, the support of HDCP for your protected contents and things like that. In 2012, we saw a new generation of product released, some components, products, scalers and switches. So these are differentials from the traditional market space and traditional product that they had. These were introduced primarily to really sort of test the water and test technology that they were using to ensure that they could actually produce the systems which we see today. So in 2015, we saw the introduction of the DEXON 5000 series. So that's the main controller. So that is what the basis we all know DEXON about. So they produce wall controllers for the likes of control rooms, monitoring centers, things like that. But we now also have the introduction of the DIMAX and the DIVIP families. We'll cover off these ranges a little bit more in detail moving forward. So our main competitors on the market today for our DEXON 5000 series, DataPath is probably our biggest, follows closely behind by the guys at Matrox, TV1 and IVIS. All of these make a very, very similar product, the differential being TV1. TV1 make more of a hardware-based solution rather than a Windows-based solution, whereas the DataPath, Matrox and IVIS all use a card-based system with a Windows back-end, very much like our DEXON 5000 series. If you're looking at competitors to our DIVIP series, so our video processing series, that is probably a direct competitor to the likes of the TV1 Choreo Master. And today we now also see competition against the likes of a Crestron DM, an AMX DGX, an Extron XTP system with our DIMAX product. DIMAX being a matrix switching solution. So there's a few key areas where DEXON has differentiated themselves from the competition that's out there. So we have a dedicated video crossbar technology. We use these dedicated video crossbar technologies to remove the processing load. So these feature in all of our systems, so be it a DiMax, a DiVip, or a DXN 5000 series. And this is a dedicated video-only processing board, so there's no direct connection between this and our main CPU board, hence the reason that there is no CPU load. This is very apparent and needed for applications where security is very key. And off the basis of this, we have many accreditations for the solutions to be used in secure and secret environments within MOD and public sectors. We have, at the moment today, 3 modular chassis that we can be used, along with a couple of fixed chassis. And we have up to 1.2 terabytes of data transfer on our crossbar, depending on what chassis you use. If you use the 4U chassis, which enables you to have a 1616, you get up to 320 gigabytes per second of data transfer. If you jump up to the 7U chassis, which then enables you to do up to a 32 by 32 configuration, you get 640 gig per second. And then if you jump up to a 64 by 64 14U chassis, we then see the 1.2 terabyte data of transfer. The data transfer is very key. The higher the number, the more data you can physically transmit and show on screen at any one particular time. So obviously we try and maintain that speed to allow us to push as many detail on data as possible. In our DiVip and DiMax series, we enable the ability to true seamlessly switch. So this will be switching our inputs in our windows or switching our presets. There are many other brands out there today on the market that claim they do seamless switching. What they actually do mean is that they're not switching through a black frame. We have 3 different options with DEXON. We have the ability to switch through a black frame via a straight cut, so we literally freeze frame and switch to the next, or true seamlessly switch, be it where we're actually fading one source out at the same time we're fading the next source in. Very much like a high-end presentation switcher. We have integrated HDBaseT and fiber support. We have this on both input and output channels. So we have the ability to transmit up to 100 meters into the system and 100 meters out of the system using the HDBaseT. And we have the ability to do 1600 meters into the system and out of the system via a fiber connection. The HDBaseT runs as standard as a HDBaseT connection, and we have had it working with our dedicated endpoints, which are produced by DEXON, but also with other brands and technology in use today. If you are not using the DEXON HDBaseT extenders, then we would always suggest testing of that solution before deploying it. As part of the 5000 series, the DiVip and the DiMax introduction, there is also the introduction of a new board design. This board design moves away from the standard PCI technology, which is used by many manufacturers today, and we chose to make this decision to move away due to technical issues that we've seen and investigated following on from the many years of using a PCI technology. The new technology enables us to have a telecoms connector, which is a very high-speed data connection. It means it's completely locked in and it's dust proof. For control, we have many different ways, but our new one, which we particularly recommend, is our web GUI control. This web GUI control can be viewed and displayed and controlled in any device that supports HTML5. It could be a control panel that supports HTML5, it could be a tablet device, a phone, a laptop, a Mac, whichever you choose. Along with the web GUI, we have a traditional application on the 5000 series, and then we also have a full XML API available for all products. All products support full HDCP support, and it's on the basis of a HDCP regenerate. Our limitation of keys in this product is the limitation of the number of output channels you actually specify. All HDCP handshake on sources is done on the input cards, and then we regenerate our HDCP handshake from our product out to the actual endpoint. As well as our new board design for the connections, we also have a new board design that allows us to remove heat sinks and fans from our connection boards. This means the board is very reliable as there are no moving parts, and the scaling chips that are now used today emit less than 1 watt of heat, so there is no need to dissipate this through the system. For cooling on the system, we still use a fan-based system, but rather than doing a front to back like we saw on all previous products, we now do a side to side. There are no filters included in this product like there have been in the previous series, and this is for the main reason that the amount of dust being sucked into the system through the filter would need cleaning repeatedly. Custom designed chassis are now in operation today because we saw that there was an advantage to using this over the standard off-the-shelf chassis which many manufacturers are using widely. This enables us to freely design and ensure that our chassis is stable enough to carry the boards. Also, it enables us to change the design, add and remove parts to it. Our rack mounting ears on this product are fully populated, so you can actually rack mount the product wherever you wish in your rack. The products are designed for 24/7, 365. Some products out there have been out and installed and running for in excess of 20 years without being removed and turned off. Thanks to the actual technology inside the system, this has given this its rating and can be maintained widely around the world today. As mentioned before, the systems can be fully customized, so you would just select the chassis that you require, the number of input boards, the number of output boards, and can be upgraded or downgraded at a later stage. The DEXON product family today is comprised of 6 particular product ranges. The Dymax family, which is a traditional matrix solution but with some differences. Along with the standard one-to-one, one-to-multiple outputs, the Dymax family also enables you to take one source and display it across multiple outputs, like you would a video wall where you're stretching the content across multiple displays. In addition to this, you have the option to open a secondary PIP window within every single display output area. This enables you to do and produce a solution for a distributed presentation matrix switcher environment. The Dymax solution supports full audio, embed, de-embed and analog support. The Dyvit family increases the capabilities of a Dymax. The option we have here is we have the option to open up to 4 windows on every single output. We still have the option to display one source across multiple outs or one-to-one, whichever you choose. Both products come in either a 4x4 and 8x4 fixed, 16x16, 32x32 and 64x64 configuration. The DXN 5000 series family is made up again of 5 different particular products. The DXN 5200 is a wall controller that allows display of 2 windows per output channel. The 54 enables for 4 windows per channel. The 56 and 58 are like the 52 and 54, but they also enable you to have IP decoding capabilities. And the last and final one we have is a 55 series. A 55 series enables you to have edge blending for projection should you wish to have this. We have a rotating scaler family. This scaling family enables you to have multiple ins, multiple outs, but also enables you to have a rotation on the output channel, be it 90 degrees, 180 degrees or 270 degrees. This is really designed for small video wall applications where you just need a very simple, put the system in and it just runs. You don't need to really have much control. We have a universal scaler family. The universal scaler family is effectively our little toolbox. Our toolbox of product enables multi-formats of inputs, be it display ports, HDSDIs, RGBs, HDMIs, every single format you can think of today, and then it gives you the option to have it to multiple different outputs, DVI only, HD-based T, fiber and SDI. These products can be linked indirectly with all of our other products in the range. We finally have our extender family. Our extender family is made up of two product offerings. Our HD-based T offering, which enables you to transmit up to 4K 30Hz resolution signals to 100 meters distance. This uses standard HD-based T chipsets, so we always recommend that if you are going to pair this with a display device or projection that has HD-based T direct input connection, that you test this before rolling out the solution. Likewise, we have an offering for fiber connection to enable you to do this into secure applications. This again enables you to do 4K at 30 Hz up to 1600 meters distance between. The HD-based T and the fiber inputs can be coupled together with our other products from the Dimax, the Divip and DEXON 5000 series. For more any information on anything discussed during this webinar, please do feel free to contact me at arothery@avmlimited.co.uk or by calling the AVM office on 01276 418 030. And please join us for our next webinar where we will look at the Dimax family in more detail. Thank you for joining us, and just to confirm, all the products are available from AVM in the UK. Thank you very much.